The mural all starts on Photoshop. Photoshop document different layers with different features which I'll paint. The first part of the process is pretty much using all A100 or Sherwin-Williams color paints to do all the base layers, and also Rust-Oleum. Then I switch completely to spray. My favorite brand is 94 Montana spray paint, and that's what I use for all the detailing and just to make everything really pop. Kind of want to put in the biggest lines in the drawing first, and then that will help you inform the placement of the others. Using the longer pole to outline the rows. When I'm this far away, see, I can see my whole thing pretty well. When outlining things, I always work in shapes. So like flowers are pretty much circles or ovals and lines. So I try to get the placement of all those in before I try to add more detail, depth, and all that. For the lower down leaves, I'll just use Rust-Oleum spray paint. It's like a cheaper spray paint. I use it for base layers. I like rolling from the ground with a big roller stick. Allows me to get high, better leverage. So this is the paint sprayer setup. This is my generator. So I just plug this in, and this is the paint sprayer. All this paint is loaded into this container down here. Press the trigger and it fires. At the top I can control my air and then my paint flow here. So I usually like a lower paint flow, higher air flow. Then I'm just trying to blast out this as a little bit of a haze, just add some color to the background. So yeah, here we go. Now that I've dropped the purple, I'm dropping the sidewalk back over it. And I'm doing the fills too this time. This will be like my base layer. As I get next to the edge, I turn my cap more like this so I don't blast it out this way onto the purple. So you can control the overspraying. The middle, it doesn't really matter. You can just kind of hit it straight on. There we go, bottom leaves filled in. Now, since the rose is going to be kind of pink, I'm outlining the darker shading lines with the dark red. Now I'm taking these cans of Rust-Oleum and painting the outlines to roll in the centers the same color, but in buck paint. Brick is really, or anything that's textured, it's really kind of like at least two colors. So I'm kind of like laying this pinky brick color over this orangey brick color, but I'm not like pressing the roller down super hard, so you can just like kind of see the orangey color shining through a little bit. Caps are really important, but I pretty much use this one cap for everything, almost everything. It is called a level 1 cap. It's an MTN Pro cap specifically, but it's really great for doing Sharpie thin lines and also for hazing colors in for kind of a photorealistic look. So I pretty much have this on my can the whole time. This one kind of mimics the feel of a paint sprayer. So I can just like quickly throw a color into it with spray paint and have it look good with the other paint sprayed parts of the mural. My base color, it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit past the middle of the watercolor. So the first color I'm gonna use is this color. Once I fill in a little bit of detail, it'll help inform me where the rest of the piece is. Blue at the top of the water is a little bit lighter, so I'm switching from this Odyssey blue to this blue. Now I'm going to start the shading with Jace Blue, which is named after a Baltimore graffiti writer. Foam light color Bali green for the highlights. Now that the water's pretty much done, I need one more color in it, but it's pretty much done. I'm putting the base layer, the gold circle. So this is just a color to match the metallic color, which I'm gonna lay over it. It'll be way brighter if I put a base color. So I use this brush just to the edges, and then this hot dog roller, 4-inch hot dog roller, to fill it in. Now that the circle's base color is done, I'm doing the yellow gold at the top of the house. I'm starting to go with shading and highlights on the cornice up here. Now that top is done. Now I'm just throwing some brick patterns. So it's just a bunch of outlines and rectangles. Yeah, I'm just starting to go into highlights on the window frame. Just adding in this color. It's called ink brown. It's all covered up. Color. Going in on the base color, on top of the base color of the leaves. Just filling it in little by little. Then once I've gone a little bit lighter, I go one color lighter. Often with these leaves, I'll do a test leaf, so I can just like figure out my color scheme. So I'm gonna try this color right here, and if that works, I'm gonna continue banging out all these other leaves in the same fashion. But it's a little sensitive, so I want to have the pressure come down. So a good way to drain the pressure in the can is hold it upside down and then spray it. Hear it fizzle out. Now I'm doing these unflowered bulbs. Tops of the flower buds. Now I'm filling in the outline of the rose with this pink color, which is kind of be the base color rose, and I'm just going to do a test rose. So I'm just going to try to build out the color, see what it looks like. Kind of blast it this way with an angle to get that even hazing. And as the angle changes of the flower petals, it gets towards the middle. Kind of have to change up the angle of the shading and the angle of the spray. Sample rose head is almost done. Like a real light pink. Like I just kind of like move the can a little bit more. Don't just hit it on the curve on the line. Just kind of creates a little more texturing. I found like that you can create more texturing with light colors than dark colors more easily. Rose is done. I'm gonna add some blues and some purple highlights, but I'm gonna do it to everything at the end. And this is what I like to use. I used to use like metallic spray paint, but then I noticed after about 5 years it started to fade and even chip off. So I've been using this t-shirt screen printing fabric ink. I'm using this on the shadowing color of the side of the concrete blocks, and also some texture. Kind of going in and out like this is a cool way to make texture. Kind of punching it. Adding a little funk in the crack. When doing different green tones together, it's really important to just like change up the green tone so like thing doesn't look like it's all the same. Try to add some cracks in the concrete, look more busted up. Now I'm just beginning to vine out the gold circle. Just covering it in vines. It's gonna be wrapped in vines. So I usually like hit the top of the vine with the letter color and kind of make it tubular. And I do that by hazing it at the side. At the cap, rather than going like that at it, I kind of have it towards the side. You want to do it in a way conscious of the overspray. To stand in a way where I can use my whole arm, you know, and how it moves. So making it kind of tubular, spraying it from the side. So I have this base color. I'm just gonna throw in a line. So one of the final steps in my process is using transparent black. I like this water-based stuff since a lot of like transparent colors, they have like a weird shiny sheen and it looks weird in lights. But with this water-based, just this type of can, it's the only type of can like that, you can see it says fat matte finish on it. That means that it's not going to be shiny. So I'm just adding just like little bits of shadowing, you know, just like these little details really make it pop. So now the last step I've devised in my style is putting in these 3 highlight colors throughout the mural. So like I pretty much hit one side with purple, one side with the green, and then at the top with the blue. Sometimes I switch up the blue and the green a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna hit everything in the mural with that, just like a little bit of hazing, and it really adds another dimension to the rendering. So let's go. And since the purple light's coming from this way, it's gonna, you know, grab this side right here, but then it's also gonna grab these inside ones here and here and here. So yeah, I'm gonna mark this. Just a little glare, that's all you need, but like it will look a lot better once you step back. That'll make sense? Now, the other side, blasting in with some green. I found that the green is the most sensitive, so I kind of don't use too much of it. Now I'm dropping little bits of purple on these petals, mainly towards the edges. That's where they really catch. The last step in my process is to use Hydro Defend on the mural. I've just started doing this recently and it helps protect the mural against fading.